you doing?
I'm back! I'm back!
Oh yeah, this book. In English it is Never Finished. In Polish, Bez końca. I hope you like it.
So the book starts with introduction, and introduction shows us an experiment with rats. First, the scientists took the rats and put them into the huge glasses of water, and they tried to measure how much time the rats will actually survive in the water. Some of the rats survived 15 minutes. Each survived maybe 20 minutes, the strongest almost to an hour. But all of them actually quite fast died and stopped fighting for their life. They lose their hope. And then this experiment was repeated. So scientists once more took the rats and put them into the glasses of box. But just at the moment when they saw that the rats gave up and they were actually going to die, they took them from the glasses and rescued them so they wouldn't die. And this process was repeated for a couple of times, so the rats have learned that they will always be saved from their death. And then eventually the scientists repeated the process from the beginning. So they put the rats into the big glass box and they will try to measure how much time they will now survive. Earlier it was around 15-20 minutes to the max amount of 1 hour, and now the results were shocking. Some rats without oxygen, without food, without water survived over 60 hours. 2 days, 2.5 days, and one was extremely strong, which survived 81 hours. It was incredible time. This experiment shows us interesting fact that the scientists called it hope or faith, gave the rats power to fight for their life because they knew someone would finally rescue them from this situation. But what David Goggins suggests, this wasn't the hope, because, well, sometimes you could win, sometimes you could lose, but we shouldn't let the fate decide for us. So David Goggins actually suggests in his book that it isn't the hope, but it is the faith in your own abilities, in your own potential, that you, the same as every human being in the world, you have a capability to achieve enormous goals, to achieve incredible results. And in this book, David will show how to strengthen this faith and become powerful in your mind. Let's hop in and look what he describes in his book to actually achieve this. Chapter 1. In chapter 1, we read about David Goggins' past. So when he was young, he was actually being beaten up by his father. It is glasses actually. His childhood weren't easy. It was a total disaster, which later created Goggins, which created weak David, which couldn't do much with his life. And from all his childhood, David remembered that his father was a Satan, a pure evil. And in the first chapter, he actually suggests something crazy, something absolutely unexpected. He came with an idea to meet with his father, to meet the devil himself. Why? To finally set himself free from all this trauma and all the negative energy his image of his father actually influenced him. And David actually drove to his father, to the Nashville, and then saw that in reality his father wasn't so evil, so tyrannic man that actually was the kind of person he imagined. He was right now old, weak, and maybe even a little soft. David understood in this moment that the character his father had in his childhood actually comes from his childhood, how he was treated when this father was young. And when David actually understood his behaviors, why these behaviors happened, then he gained power. He understood that it wasn't his fault that he was treated in such a way, but it was fault of his father. And this brings vastly important fact. If you understand your problem, a problem which actually brings fear to you, then you will achieve a power which is unimaginable. You will have power to control this fear, to overcome it, and not to succumb to it. David understood that his father was a tyrant, but he understood why. And in one moment, they drove actually to the restaurant to eat a dinner. His father was actually right now drunk, and all his bad habits, all his bad temperament actually arise and woken up in him. And he started to scream at David, to swear at him, and to tell how miserable and unworthy he is. But then David, actually being Goggins in the moment, and understanding that his father is a tyrant, knew that he couldn't be the same as him. He was full of anger, full of the force to actually beat up his father, but he didn't do so, to become a better person than him and to show him how much powerful he became. So, what could we learn from this? I bet that you also have a fear in your life, that you have faced traumatic situation or trauma in your childhood. Maybe it was your parents, or maybe it was the accident, or maybe it was an accident that you were witnessing, or maybe it was your friends or some kind of bully in the school. What can you do to face the devil and actually overcome the fear you're struggling with? Let's say, for example, that's your parent. Parent is a cause of the trauma you have right now. To meet the devil and overcome the fear connected with it, you should go to your parent right now to meet in person and understand why they have such behaviors they have. Maybe it was their childhood. Maybe it was your grandparents who teach your parents how to behave, and then they were trying to pass it on to you, these behaviors. If you will understand the why your parents are behaving in such a way, why they cause you so much trauma, you will then gain power over them. You will understand, and this understanding will give you so much energy to fight with it and to not become the same person as them. So we will become totally different and more powerful person. Chapter 2. Merry Damned Christmas. At first, David describes the situation when he was invited into the Christmas dinner with his wife Kish. And he tells us that he actually hates such dinners and he don't want any photos being in photos. But because he so much loves Kish and loves her for all the work, all the things she have done to him, he will go to the Christmas party. While preparing to the flight, they actually also analyze the results, sales results of the first book of David Goggins, Can't Hurt Me, which you also probably know. While doing so, they see that the success this book generated was enormous. It was way beyond what they expected. They saw that this book was displayed in the New York Times magazine, which was at the moment, and is also now, a huge achievement in the world. David also describes how much they went through because of the publishing of this book. How much people told them they will never achieve it, they will never publish the book, and even if they will publish it, it will be totally unworthy. No one actually will buy this book. Actually will buy this book. They went through all the hatred, all the negative impact people actually tried to influence on them. The mean comments, the critique, and all the publishing agencies that said that the book they are trying to publish is actually worthless. David said that at one time, at one moment, all the comments actually slowed him down, make him feel mental exhaustion, and literally it could stop the publishing of this book. But instead of giving up, David did something absolutely crazy, something unexpected. David started to actually print all the comments, all the drama, all the critique all these people have told him. And then he recorded it and listened to it all the time, repeatedly, for a lot of times. And eventually all this critique stopped negatively influencing him, but gave him power to actually move on and even with more energy put work into publishing this book. So he turned this energy, negative energy, into additional motivation, into the power of which he used to achieve his goals. So what can we learn from it? How can this method be implemented in your life? How can this method be implemented in your life? Think about all the mean comments, all the negative criticism people have tried to impact you with. Maybe it was your teacher who said, "You're so dumb, you actually will not achieve anything in your life. You will be dumb till your death." Or maybe it was a classmate who had better grades than you and actually told you that you are also dumb and stupid. Or maybe it was a coworker, a person who was given a raise and now look down at you. Listen to the thing they said. Record it as you repeat this saying of them. Record as you also say the thing they said to you. And then listen to it. Listen to it many times to take this negative energy, which actually hurts, and turn it into the additional motivation. Additional motivation which will actually empower you to defeat them, to show them that you are not the person they think you are. And also, what's about the title of this chapter? Merry Damn Christmas. David actually explains to us that that after he was reviewing the sales results of his first book, then something unexpected happened. His disease, which is called atrial fibrillation, made itself feel. He started to feel headaches and feel crazy dizzy. So his condition actually became so tragic that instead of going to an airport to fly on the Christmas dinner, they went to the hospital. And at the hospital, doctors actually saw that the situation is kind of serious, and they took the machine called defibrillator. They connected David to the defibrillator and shot him with electric power to actually regulate his heart. This situation was serious because such accidents sometimes could end with a death. But David survived it. So Merry Christmas means that sometimes in your life you could be actually extremely happy. You could feel the joy and the peace that actually comes your own success from the goals you've achieved. But life is unexpected, and when you are cherishing yourself and being happy of what you have achieved, the problems could face you right away. You could not lose your vigilance. You have to be aware of all the problems that could come at you. There is a verse in the Bible. So let the one who thinks he is standing be aware that he does not fall. So guys, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful day.
I'm back, motherfucker!